Welcome to the YCNU podcast. Join us each week for engaging conversations with campus leaders, students, faculty, staff, alumni, and community members. From academics to athletics, campus life, and beyond, we cover it all. Have someone you want to hear from? Let us know. Let's explore the world of Yavapai College together.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of our YCNU podcast. I'm Cadu Medina, your host for today's episode, and I'm here with Dr. Lisa Rhine, president of Yavapai College. Hello, Dr. Rhine. Welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. I can't wait for this first podcast to be completed and recorded. We've been working on it for quite some time, and I'm very excited that you are the first guest. This is your vision. This has been your desire to have a new channel for us to communicate with our community. So here we are. Let's talk about you. Can you tell us a bit about your background and what led you to your current role at Yavapai College?
Sure. Well, thank you for having me on the first podcast. I'm happy to be here to talk with you about Yavapai College. So this is my 35th year in higher education. I've worked for 3 universities and 3 community colleges in Ohio, Kentucky, Virginia, and now Arizona. And what led me here, I was looking for an opportunity. I wanted to return to the community college, and I knew that that was the place where I could have an impact and would make a difference for students as compared to the university setting. And saw the opportunity in Arizona, came out here, and I always say I stepped out onto the field and realized I was at the Super Bowl.
Nice.
Yeah. Great place to be, and so happy I landed here in Arizona.
Well, it's good to have you. So what does a typical day look like for you at Yavapai College, and what's your favorite part of your routine? I'm sure that everyone wants to know, what is it like to be the president of a community college?
It's nothing like you imagine it to be. Every day is different, which is the part that I love the most. You can't anticipate what's going to happen in any given day. But typically I will come in the morning and deal with any kind of crisis du jour. There's always something going on in the community with a student, with personnel. I meet with the vice presidents and just make sure we're all on the same track and everything is okay for the day. And then check email. And then meeting after meeting after meeting. And sometimes we get drowned in those meetings. But getting out on the campus and out in the community, creating and developing and enriching those relationships that support the college.
And what is your favorite part of that routine?
The relationship building.
Yes.
Yeah, going out into the community, talking to people. This job's very relational.
How many people do we have now in Yavapai College? Employees, staff, faculty?
We have just under 500 full-time employees, but then over 1,000 when we count our part-time and adjunct faculty. Yeah, a lot of folks.
A lot of opportunities for relationships and emails and phone calls and meetings. I'm sure it's a busy day.
Yes.
So what is a common misconception about your role or department that you'd like to clarify to our listeners? I'm sure that there's that stigma of like the president, so you probably have like a million assistants and everyone doing the work for you, but I know that's not the case.
Yeah, at community colleges, the presidents tend to be working presidents. We're out there with the rest of the faculty and staff making it happen. So I would say the misconception would be that we sit on high and think about things to do for the college, as opposed to being out and actually doing those things.
Can you tell us about a project or initiative you're currently working on that excites you the most?
There's so many. So many.
I know.
First of all, super proud that we were the first community college, rural community college in Arizona to offer baccalaureate degrees. We advocated for that at the state level, and that advocacy had been going on for over a decade. So to finally achieve that was super awesome for our community and so needed. And so the fact that we were able to launch a bachelor's degree in business and a bachelor of science in nursing right out of the gate, and those have been incredibly successful and
there's more coming, right?
We do. We have a third one in the works that's coming out in the fall.
Wonderful.
In computer science.
Wonderful. That's going to be a great one.
Yeah. Yes. Other than that, there's so many, as I said, the eatery. has been such an addition to the campus. We brought our food service in-house, and Amy and Tony are doing such a great job with reuse and reducing waste and sustainability of food, connecting with our agriculture program in Chino, growing a lot of our food, taking the waste and the wood chips from the wood shop and bringing them back to Chino for compost, and really just that whole life cycle of food. And they've been doing such a great job, and the quality has improved significantly for our students and employees. And then the other one is the purchase of this camp. We have an issue with attainable housing, as you know, for our faculty, staff, and our students. We looked at so many options over the last 2 years with the district governing board. We priced out the cost of building all kinds of different homes and manufactured homes and purchasing new and purchasing already built and all kinds of things, and discovered that the camp, even with renovation, would be half the cost of building a stick home.
Right.
And so we found a way to solve a really challenging problem in a fiscally responsible way, and we're super excited about that.
Well, tell us more. Is there anything else you can share with us at this point?
Yeah, so the camp has 60 structures on it. We'll have over 200 beds when it's completed.
Wow.
44 acres out there, and just the possibilities are endless. But we were able to, right out of the gate, move our Northern Arizona Regional Training Academy, which is our police academy, out there, and also find some students' houses and some new employees' houses who wouldn't have been able to come to the college to work because they couldn't find attainable housing.
That's a wonderful thing. I know we've been doing also some other developments in the Valley area with RVs and some other homes that we're developing there for students. These are already available and being populated.
Yes, about a year and a half, we put a set of RVs out there in an RV park near the Vineyard in the Verde Valley, near the Clarkdale campus. And those are all full and have been ever since we opened those. And then we also are looking at placing some tiny homes out at Chino and doing a manufactured apartment kind of complex for students out at the Verde Valley campus. So the options that we're going to have for our students are going to meet the need, definitely. And again, we're trying to do that in a fiscally responsible way.
That's beautiful. That's awesome. Not just providing education, but housing as well, and every other need that our students may have, right? Well, this is probably one that will answer this question, but what initiatives or programs at Yavapai College do you think are underappreciated but deserve more attention? I'm sure this is one of them, right? Housing for students, this is one big thing. But is there anything else that you feel like it's underappreciated that deserves more attention?
So it's an interesting question, because this is one I've been having with lots of folks recently, that we have been here for 55 plus years now, and we do what we do so well that it also becomes invisible to the community. So if you're living in our community and you need a nurse, you need a police officer, you need a plumber, you need an electrician, you need any of those workers, chances are they graduated from Yavapai College, and we're the provider of that workforce that supports the vitality of our community. And we just do that automatically. We had 1,700 graduates last year. So we're putting those workers right into our community, into the workforce, and they're doing their jobs every day to support our health and vitality. And I think we just take it for granted. Right. And so at times, when we have our board meetings at tax time, and if we need to raise taxes slightly, people will come up and say, I raised my kids. Why should I pay more taxes for Yavapai College? And the question is, do you need a nurse? Do you need a police officer?
Yes.
Do you need a plumber? Right? And so I think we just need to remind people that we are providing that workforce on a regular basis. There's also, when new industry comes to this county, We are the first ones they call as part of that economic development review. They want to make sure that we're going to be able to provide that workforce for them if they settle here, that we'll be able to provide curriculum that may not exist already, that we might need to produce for them. And we ensure them that that is the case, that they can come here and we are responsive in that way in attracting new business and industry to come, again, to keep us economically viable as a community. And so the things that I think people forget are those things. These other things are awesome, and they're the current things that are necessary for us to do to serve our students today. But we've been doing this work for 55 years, and I think that goes underappreciated.
And this is right at the core of our mission, goals, and everything we talk about and plan for here at Yavapai College, isn't it?
That's right. That's right. I mean, we are here to support the economic vitality of our communities and make it a great place to live and work and learn.
Right. Wonderful. What's something about Yavapai College that you believe more people should know or appreciate?
Yeah, well, I kind of just hit on that a bit, but I think that we are super responsive to the needs of the community. You know, we are a college, but we are a community college that's situated here. We all live here. We all work here. We all pay taxes to this community.
Right.
We are part of the fabric of this community. And I think that people forget that, right? They forget that we're not just this government entity over here, but we are part and parcel of the community. The cultural enrichment that we provide through the Jim and Linda Lee Performing Arts Center, through all of our arts programs, through athletics, just the opportunity for people to engage in a community and to be able to be that hub for cultural experiences also.
Right. Do you think people don't understand the role of a community college in this community? Do you feel like there's a big misconception about what is the main purpose of having a community college?
Yeah. So again, being in higher education for 35 years, that has changed. And so originally, when I worked at my first community college back in 1989, there was this conception that students would come to a community college for 2 years and transfer to a 4-year institution. That is a rarity these days because the community college, again, now offers baccalaureate degrees. There might be shorter term micro-credentials or certificates or learning options that lead right to the workforce for living wage jobs that pay very well. And so there's just this different sense that before, at least when I was graduating high school and coming into college, that there was an expectation that a 4-year degree led to the workforce. And now there's an understanding that that was never true, and that the backbone of America is what they call the new collar worker, those individuals that are not, or that work in jobs that don't necessarily require a baccalaureate degree, but some college or some
training,
specific skill that will allow them to participate in great jobs and give back to the community too. So I just think that there's a misconception, and we kind of sold everyone a false bag of goods that you needed to go get a 4-year degree to be successful, when the path to success is not necessarily that.
Yeah, I'm glad we're rewriting that, because I think I felt that way coming out of high school as well, that, you know, a 4-year bachelor's degree is the way to go. And community colleges, to me, felt like it was a plan B, a second option or a third option. It wasn't viable. It wasn't what the market wanted. It wasn't what the community expected of me. And I'm glad that we're rewriting this. I have children now in, college, going to college, and the story for them today about community colleges is very different than the story I was told when I was going into college.
Yeah. Speaking of children, I'll tell you a story about my own child who, when I came to Yavapai College, was in a 4-year institution in Virginia, and he was studying computer science, and he had completed his second year going into his third, and decided that he was just going to move here with us to Arizona and get the associate degree from Yavapai College in computer science. Very quickly came to me and said, the equipment and the quality of teaching at Yavapai College far surpassed what he was getting at the four-year institution, at a really good four-year institution in Virginia. And so just to say that, we have the same accrediting body. The English 101 in the university is the same English 101 course here. It has the same outcomes, same requirements by the accrediting body. So that concept that community colleges are lesser is just not true. And then sometimes it can be superior because we're more agile. We have the opportunity for the latest and greatest technology and the opportunity to bring in faculty and staff that have actually been in the field, not just studied it and go teach in a university, but actually have worked in the field and know cutting edge what's happening in those industries, and then bring that knowledge to the classroom and share it with our students.
That's fantastic. Well, can you share an example of a staff, faculty, or student success story that has a particularly interesting and inspiring aspect to you? Someone here from Yavapai College. I think your son is a great example there too. Is there anyone else you can think of right now?
Oh my gosh. So let me just say that every single one of our students has a story. Every one of them comes to the college with dreams and aspirations, but they also bring with them all their challenges and their fears.
Right.
And so I always talk to faculty and staff about our role to meet students wherever they are and bring them as far along as we can to reaching their goals, whatever that might be. And the majority of our students don't start at the typical starting line. They start well before it because they're overcoming challenges and they're working through things, as I think most students in any college are. But we recognize that and we help them get where they need to be. And I can just tell hundreds and hundreds of stories, and I do this every year at commencement, and it's really hard to pick which story to tell because all of them have overcome something to be in the seat today. And when they achieve that certificate, that degree, that credential, and they hit that milestone, they can look back and they are so immensely proud because it is education that will break those barriers of poverty and undereducation in our society. And many of our students are first generation, so they're not only doing it for themselves, but they're doing it for their families and to leave a legacy for their family and to break those cycles. So that's what's so incredibly powerful.
I remember from commencement that we had a couple of stories that really impressed me, and I got really emotional about it when we had a teenager and an 80-year-old gentleman graduating at the same time, and also the wife and the husband that decided that they needed to go together in this journey and graduated. I thought it was so inspiring, and the range of, how many people we touch, or the different stories that we end up being part of.
Yeah, within YC, we have wonderful custodial staff, and we have an individual, Chris Robles, who decided, I'm going to go to school. And then he got his associate degree and just so immensely proud of that. And now is back for our bachelor's degree program and really has talked about how that has changed the way he sees education, way he sees his life trajectory, and really is empowered by the education that's been provided here. So we really do change lives. It's really pretty remarkable that we get to work at a place like this and have the ability to say that we directly impact lives like that on a daily basis.
I bet that feels really good, doesn't it?
Gets you up in the morning.
It gets you up in the morning.
For sure.
Well, we're close to the end here of our interview, and I have a series of rapid fire questions here that I would like to run through you just to really get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
Your thoughts on these random things that I put together here. So first one is, what new skill or area of knowledge have you been exploring lately, and how does it relate to your work at the college?
So I've been doing a lot of reading about immersive technology and artificial intelligence and AI and how that's going to be changing higher education. We don't really know how it's going to change higher education, but we know it's going to change it profoundly. And so we're trying to stay on the cutting edge of that. And that requires a lot of reading and research and digging into what's next. we have some folks that are really working to promote that at the college and bringing together folks in a way that we can have kind of discussions about that and create community practice around that. So super excited about AI and immersive technology. Yeah.
Wonderful. If you could go back and give advice to yourself on your first day at Yavapai College, what would you say?
Two things, probably be bold. And secondly, you don't have to do it all in the first year.
That's so wonderful.
Yeah.
Be bolder. You are bold.
Yeah, be bolder.
You're wonderful. Okay. If you could invite any historical figure to speak at a community college event, who would it be and what topic would you want them to address?
Probably Mother Teresa.
Nice.
And I would want her to talk about kindness and compassion and empathy and understanding. We need more of that in our county, in our state, and in our nation right now.
If you had a magic wand to grant every community college student one skill for their future, what would it be and why?
I think it would be total self-confidence and understanding their worth. I think students, like myself, underestimate or questioned their worth and had a lot of self-doubt about their ability to learn and grow and develop and be whatever they want to be. And everyone has that capacity. So I'd say throw away the self-doubt and know that you're worthy. You're worthy. Yes.
Wonderful. If you could put a billboard anywhere on campus, and we do have one, so JJ, pay attention, with anything on it, what would it say and why?
Again, it's about that self-worth and that self-doubt. I would say, you got this. You got this.
You got this. Any final thoughts?
No, just thank you for the opportunity to talk about Yavapai College. Love, love, love this place. Love the people in this community and hope that the community will embrace us in the same way that we embrace them.
Dr. Rhine, thank you so much for all your insights and your thought and your wisdom. I really enjoyed our conversation today. I hope everyone gets to meet you in person and have follow-up, questions on all the topics that we approached here today. I know you're very reachable. It's easy to talk to, and they know where to find you.
Yes, they do. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning in to the YCNU podcast. We hope you enjoyed our conversation today. Don't forget to follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. Got someone in mind for our next chat? Reach out and let us know. Until next time, keep exploring, and we'll see you next week.